Imagine a man who invented something that is now used by more than 5 billion people every single day. A creation so ubiquitous, so essential to modern life that it is almost impossible to imagine the world without it. Now, imagine that this man, instead of becoming a billionaire, gave his invention away to the world for free, refusing to patent it, refusing to commercialize it, refusing to profit from the very thing that transformed the global economy and redefined human communication. This is the story of Tim Berners-Lee, a quiet, unassuming British computer scientist who created the World Wide Web, a man who, in a moment of profound altruism, decided that the most powerful invention in human history should belong to everyone, not to a corporation or a single individual. But here is what most people do not realize about Tim Berners-Lee. He is deeply troubled by what his creation has become. He looks at the web he built, the web that was supposed to connect humanity and foster understanding, and he sees a world of division, misinformation, surveillance, and hate. He has spent the last decade of his life fighting to save the very thing he created, a man who is both the architect of the modern world and one of its most vocal critics. He is a man who is caught in a profound contradiction, a man who gave the world a gift and now watches as the world struggles to use it responsibly. To understand Tim Berners-Lee, you have to go back to the beginning, to the foggy streets of London, where he was born on June 8, 1955, into a world of mathematics and computation. His parents, Mary Lee Woods and Conway Berners-Lee, were both pioneering computer scientists who had worked on the Ferranti Mark I, one of the earliest commercially available computers. They were among the first generation of people who understood the potential of the computer, and they passed that understanding on to their son. Tim grew up in a house filled with books, diagrams, and conversations about logic and technology. He was a bright, curious boy, but he was also a boy who was different from his peers. He was obsessed with models, with systems, with the hidden logic that governed the world. He would spend hours building intricate structures out of cardboard and string. He was a boy who was fascinated by the way things worked, a boy who was destined to build something that would change the world. He was also a boy who was deeply shy, a boy who often preferred the company of machines to that of people. His education was unconventional. He attended Emmanuel School, a private school in London, where he was a decent but unexceptional student. He was not a prodigy. He was not the best in his class. He was a boy who was interested in a wide range of subjects, but who was more drawn to the practical than the theoretical. He enjoyed building things, tinkering with electronics, and understanding the physical world. He was not a student who was content to simply memorize facts. He wanted to understand the underlying principles. He eventually earned a degree in physics from the Queen's College, Oxford, where he built his first computer using a soldering iron, an old television set, and a microprocessor. It was a primitive machine, a home-built contraption that looked nothing like the sleek devices we use today. But it was a machine that worked, a machine that demonstrated his ingenuity and his technical skill. He was a man who was not content to be a passive consumer of technology. He was a man who wanted to create it. After graduation, Berners-Lee worked as a software engineer in various companies, but he was always searching for something more, a purpose that would give meaning to his work. He was a man who was driven by a vision of a world where information could be shared freely and easily. In 1980, he took a temporary contract at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, the world's largest particle physics laboratory, located on the border between France and Switzerland. It was at CERN that he would begin to develop his most important ideas.
CERN was a place of immense intellectual ambition, a place where scientists from all over the world came together to study the fundamental nature of the universe. But it was also a place of chaos. The scientists were brilliant, but they were also disorganized. They were constantly losing track of their research papers, their data, and their ideas. They were a community that was drowning in information, a community that desperately needed a new way to manage and share their knowledge. Berners-Lee saw the problem, and he began to imagine a solution. He proposed a system that would allow scientists to link their documents together, to create a web of information that could be accessed from any computer in the world. It was a radical idea, a vision that was far ahead of its time. He used a simple program called Inquire, which he had written in his spare time, to demonstrate the concept. But his superiors were not impressed. They saw it as a distraction, a hobby project that was not worth the time and resources of a major physics laboratory. They told him to focus on his real work. He was a man who was told to stop, but he did not give up. He continued to develop his ideas in his spare time, working in the shadows, driven by a conviction that he could change the world. He was a man who was willing to work without recognition, a man who was willing to sacrifice his own career for the sake of his vision. The turning point came in 1989 when Berners-Lee wrote a formal proposal for what he called the World Wide Web. He proposed a system that would combine two existing technologies, the Internet, which was a network of computers, and hypertext, a system for linking documents. His proposal was a work of elegance and simplicity. It proposed a system that would allow anyone to access any information from anywhere in the world using a simple, standardized language. It was a vision of a world where information was free, a world where knowledge was shared without barriers. His boss, Mike Sendall, was not convinced, but he was willing to give him a chance. He told him to do it on the side, a phrase that would become legendary. It was a small opening, a crack of light in a door that had been firmly shut. Berners-Lee seized the opportunity. He began to work on the project in earnest, building the first web server, writing the first web browser, and designing the fundamental protocols that would make the web possible. He was a man who was creating a new world, a world that would soon be inhabited by billions of people. By the end of 1990, Berners-Lee had created the first website, which was hosted on a Next computer at CERN. It was a simple page, a page that described the web itself, a page that provided instructions on how to access the web and how to create your own web pages. It was a humble beginning, a quiet birth for a technology that would transform the world. He had built the infrastructure, but the web was still a small, closed system. It was used only by a handful of scientists at CERN. He was a man who had created a miracle, but the world did not yet know it. The web was a secret, a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The next few years were a period of rapid growth. The web began to spread beyond the walls of CERN. It was adopted by other research institutions, by universities, and eventually by the public. In 1993, CERN made a decision that would change the course of history. They decided to release the web software into the public domain, an act of generosity that made the web free for everyone. It was a moment of profound consequence. If CERN had chosen to commercialize the web, it would have become a proprietary technology controlled by a single corporation. Instead, they gave it to the world. Berners-Lee supported the decision, and he continued to work to make the web more accessible. In 1994, he founded the World Wide Web Consortium at MIT, an organization dedicated to developing web standards and ensuring that the web would remain an open and accessible platform. He was a man who was not just an inventor, he was a steward, a guardian of the technology he had created. He was determined to protect the web from fragmentation and commercialization. The web exploded in popularity in the late 1990s. It became a global phenomenon, a new medium that changed the way we communicate, work, learn, and shop. It created new industries, new fortunes, and new possibilities. It democratized information, giving voice to millions who had previously been silenced. It was a force for progress, a tool for empowerment. But the web also brought new challenges. It became a platform for crime, for misinformation, for hate speech, and for surveillance. It was a tool that could be used for good or for evil. Berners-Lee watched with a mixture of pride and anxiety as his creation grew beyond anything he could have imagined. He was a man who was proud of what he had built, but he was also a man who was deeply concerned about the direction it was taking.
Berners-Lee's personal life has been relatively private, a quiet existence in contrast to the global impact of his creation. He married Nancy Carlson, a former American software engineer who worked at the World Wide Web Consortium in 1990. They have 2 children, and they have maintained a relatively low profile, living in a modest house in Massachusetts. He is a man who is not interested in the trappings of fame. He is not a celebrity. He is a man who is still working, still trying to solve problems, still trying to make the world a better place. He is a man who is driven by a deep and abiding sense of responsibility. He has received numerous honors, including a knighthood from Queen Elizabeth II and the Order of Merit, but he has never sought out the spotlight. He is a man who prefers to work in the background, a man who is more interested in the substance of his ideas than in the public recognition they might bring. In 2018, Berners-Lee announced a new initiative, the Contract for the Web, a set of principles designed to ensure that the web remains a force for good. The contract calls on governments, companies, and individuals to work together to protect the web from misuse. It is a bold and ambitious attempt to save the web from itself. He has also been working on a new project, the Solid platform, which aims to give users more control over their data and to create a more decentralized and democratic web. He is a man who is still fighting for his vision, a man who believes that the web can be a better place. He is a man who is not content to rest on his laurels. He is a man who is still trying to build a better future. The legacy of Tim Berners-Lee is one of the most profound in human history. He has been called the father of the World Wide Web, a title that is well-deserved. His invention has changed the way we live, work, and relate to one another. It has transformed the economy, the media, and the very fabric of our society. He is a man who has been honored by governments, universities, and technology companies around the world. He is a man who is celebrated as a hero, a visionary, and a genius. But he is also a man who is deeply conflicted about his legacy. He has said that he does not want to be remembered as the man who invented the web. He wants to be remembered as the man who saved it. It is a profound and moving sentiment, a testament to his character and his continuing commitment to the ideals that have guided his life. But there is a darker side to his legacy. The web that he created has become a tool for surveillance, a platform for propaganda, and a weapon of mass manipulation. It has enabled the rise of social media giants that have become more powerful than governments. It has been used to spread disinformation, to undermine democracy, and to create a new world of division and isolation. Berners-Lee has been deeply critical of the way the web has evolved. He has called for a new web that is more secure, more private, and more democratic.
He has spoken out against the concentration of power in the hands of a few large technology companies. He is a man who is not afraid to criticize his own creation, a man who is willing to acknowledge the problems that have arisen. Why should someone born today still care about Tim Berners-Lee? Because his life is a testament to the power of a single individual to change the world. He was a man who had a vision, and he was willing to work tirelessly to make that vision a reality. He was a man who believed that information should be free, a man who believed that the web should be a tool for human connection and understanding. He was a man who was not motivated by greed or ambition. He was motivated by a deep and abiding belief in the power of the human mind. He is a reminder that the greatest inventions are often born from the simplest ideas, and that the most important thing is not the technology itself, but how we choose to use it. He is a man who has given the world an invaluable gift, and he is a man who is still fighting to protect that gift. He is a man who is not just an inventor, he is a moral compass, a guide for a world that is trying to navigate the complex and often dangerous territory of the digital age.
Berners-Lee once said, "This is for everyone." It was a simple phrase, but it was a profound declaration of intent. He believed that the web should be a tool for everyone, a platform that would empower individuals and connect humanity. He gave the world a gift that has transformed the way we live, work, and communicate. But he also gave us a responsibility to use the web wisely, to protect it from those who would misuse it, and to ensure that it remains a force for good. He is a man who changed the world, and his story is a powerful reminder that the greatest achievements are often born from the simplest ideas, and that the most important thing is not the technology itself, but how we choose to use it. He is a man who gave us the web, and now it is up to us to save it. He is a man who has dedicated his life to the service of humanity, and his legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. He is a man who dared to dream of a connected world, and in doing so, he changed the course of history. He is the man who built the internet we know today, and he is the man who is fighting to ensure that it remains a place of hope, connection, and understanding.